All right, you're still watching Ways Day of 8 billion, celebrated on the margins of International Conference on Family Planning. Now, according to projections by the UN Department of Economics and Social Affairs, it is estimated that the global population will reach 8 billion on the 15th of November in 2020. Biko, we should not get there. No, because on a serious note with this population thing, what is even a lot more alarming for me, at least other climes even have an idea of the number of people being born. We don't even have an updated census in this country. So imagine building facilities that are already outdated, because you can't even accommodate the number of people that we have, not to talk of now you are now blindly, like it doesn't make any sense for a government not to plan. Like, for instance, in my household, we know there is 2 children, father, mother. Do you understand? So it helps with any form of planning. If we're talking about holiday trips, education, what kind of school they will go to, different things will be planned because we know our numbers, right? If you want to plan your meal, so for instance, if I buy XYZ amount of grocery, it would last XYZ amount of days or months or whatever. So I don't understand how we as a people, we've not even decided that we really need to take these population issues seriously, because they have been ringing this alarm for a very long time that our population, is going to be, I think Nigeria will be the 3rd largest in terms of population, right? So this is not going to be funny if we're still struggling with infrastructure and all of the things that we're struggling with. It won't be funny because, let me leave it there. What did we find in the news? How many of you are? How many are you born? Let me just, so that you're not part of the problem.
No, just 2.
Okay.
I don't think anybody in this day and age should be looking at anything more than 2 kids.
But it will
and
surprise
2 kids,
you.
But you see, no, but surprisingly, there's still people who dream about 4, 5.
I have
You have generational wealth.
In this economy.
Yeah, do you understand?
Because the statistics even show that it's the poorer ones that have more children.
Yeah.
So what
that's even the sad part. That's the sad part.
So
we need to sanction. Yes, the government needs to sanction. Yeah,
like they did in
go to jail. China. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Monday sit-at-home subsides in Anambra and commercial activities boom. So commercial activities have begun to pick up in Anambra State major cities, which had previously been deserted due to the sit-at-home on Monday. The sit-at-home order, initially ordered by the indigenous people of Biafra in solidarity with their detained leader Nnamdi Kano, has now been suspended. But despite the cancellation of directives, people still complied because of the attack by hoodlums. But right now, it's been said that, it's a little more, it's much more calmer now. Then when I saw this, I was quite interested in it because, I'm from Anambra and I know that this has affected businesses, yes, in that area. My dad complains about it a whole lot, and every time he has traveled to the east, he never comes back on Monday. He has come back on because he can't move around. So we're happy to hear that now he can be back on Monday. So no more excuses for not coming back home.
Okay, was that where you were going with this?
I understand. And I hope he sees this because that's where I was actually going.
Well, it's not his fault.
It's dicey.
Wow. Daddy, sorry. Mary, your story.
Very sad news. Properties worth millions lost as fire got Singa Market in Kano. November 14th, Daily Trust reports that the store where biscuits and sweets were kept belonged to Mimza General Enterprises. Mohammed Abdullahi, an employee of the company, said the cause of the incident is unknown, but electrical surge was suspected. This is so sad because I think they had just offloaded new goods, and then the next day there was a fire.
Can you imagine someone who has planned how much money that you've invested so much, and it's towards the end of the year, you want to go and show your
I think we need to really pay attention to insurance in this country.
Yes.
We need to pay attention to it again, because most times when things like this happen, it's very hard to salvage anything. The other day we saw the building in Dubai near the Burj Khalifa. It was up in flames. But I can bet you for free that the building is insured. So whatever it is, they would recoup, right? So let's just really pay attention to insurance. Even me that I'm talking right now, I need to tell myself that sometimes we feel like insurance is like we're wasting money, but it's not. because it's for eventualities like this, because you're not sure what will happen. You know, it might be somebody else's carelessness that costs you something else.
I only realized the other day that even third-party car insurance can cover something.
Yes, it can cover somebody else, but it's just that it will not cover you.
You know, you always just think the idea you get is that third party is just so that it will look like you have an insurance, but
no. So someone hit my car, and he had a third-party insurance. His insurance company fixed my car, but they won't fix his own car.
He'll fix his
Yes,
car
they'll
by
fix
himself.
the person that you know is affected. That's the only difference between it, but it's still better than nothing. Enjoy your story.
My story is tech storm sweeps over 100,000 jobs in 2020. I think I mentioned this a couple of months ago, where you know there has been this huge layoff in the tech industry.
Yeah.
So it says the global tech industry has seen 155 employees laid off by 887 companies this year. You know, representing the largest layoff activity in the industry. And in this started, I think, around the second quarter of 2020, and it still holds the record for the quarter. And the fourth quarter of 2022 has by far seen the largest layoff by one company. Last week, Meta, the parent company of Facebook, laid off 11,000 workers, representing about 13% of its total workforce. And it's well, there are other, you know, other comments by even the CEO of Stripe and the rest of them just talking about layoffs. And this, I'm sure, has affected the tech industry in a different way, because with layoffs like this, everything in tech is, you know, those back end, the people who you're laying off are those back end people who make whatever product you have out in the market.
Think they will just
I beg to differ.
my darling.
The thing is, people have taken the tech space for granted because they feel like because it is tech, it is recent, it's a new market, right? But the thing is that there are some skills that are actually getting, what I call it, outdated.
Now.
In the tech space.
Guess what?
Yeah.
And there are some skills that they are hungry looking for.
Yeah.
That if you get those skills, you are hot cake. So the thing with tech is to keep yourself updated. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because you know that's the thing. Because sometimes people are just thinking, because right now people are shouting there's no job, but I know so many people that are being employed by the with tech companies.
People that are leaving Nigeria,
Yes,
they're not getting jobs. So they're laying off people outside the country because even we found ourselves in a new space where we can actually thrive outside.
Absolutely. So when I saw this story, I was saying, praising the Lord. I was so excited. Only for me to read it, that it's India. It's a US visa. More visa applicants now eligible for interview waiver.
Praise God.
So I'm telling you, that was the shout. I said, praise the Lord.
It's not in your country.
You know, but it's not in your country. So apparently, India, right, is the third largest visa, what's it called?
They make the highest revenue from
for visas,
applications.
visa applications in the US for both B1, B2, student visa, and what's it called? I think, B1, B2 visa, student visa application, and tourism and all of that. So the report is that the embassy is trying to, because they have a lot of backlog, so they are trying to see how they can reduce it. So people that have had existing visas before, they will no longer go for a physical. So even though it has expired for over 4 years, they still can just go and do a drop box, and they will have a waiver for a physical interview. So this is just to clear the backlog, because they have tons and tons of backlog from this deadline. And part of what they are saying now is that because China has put an embargo, you know, India is the third largest recipient of US visa. China has put an embargo on their own visas and traveling and all of that. So now India is taking over to being number 2 globally. I used to think that the rate at which Nigerians were moving out of this country will be the ones, but you know, India and their population is
everywhere.
No, Indian population is massive. Even if if 50% of Indians leave India, they will still have enough.
They will still have enough for the country to run.
For the country to run. So India has a lot. I mean, look at appointment time, 925 calendar days for B1, V2, that's the visitor's visa. So I thought ours was bad. So it's everywhere, right? For interviews, for student visas, it's about 43 calendar days. Interviews that requires petitioning 317 days. This is like over a
900
year.
and something is about almost
Yeah.
3 years.
Yes, so over 3-year wait period, it doesn't make any sense. So if you've had a 2-year visa before, a US visa before, so there's no need for you to be part of the people waiting for an interview. Let them just do a waiver. So I'm just begging US, how you tell no? That day I want to end the conversation. US government, move your long bear. Let's bring it home to Nigeria. Somebody was saying to me when I sent it to person, he said, see, Nigerians will jack by everything. All of Nigeria will be empty, but it's not true. It's not true. Some of us still want to stay in Nigeria. But please just bring it to us so that us that don't have energy. For us that don't have energy for interviews.
You might not see Mary here.
You know,
If that happens.
I love my country.
Yeah,
Thank you, my
we
darling.
do too.
All right, we'll take a break. Let's discuss suicide, right? Stay with us. We'll be right back.